Hey Genesisters, and welcome back. We've got another deck list here. So yeah, we did a little bit of a tournament today. We finished 4-1 today. My only loss was a pretty brutal 2-1 to a Shaddoll player who just choked out my graveyard really efficiently. Seemed to have a decent knowledge of the matchup and just was a really solid duelist overall. So shout out that Shaddoll player. It's got me wanting to learn the matchup so that it doesn't happen again. I will say I got a bit unlucky, but hey, luck's a factor. Consistency is key. And this deck is consistent, I will say. 4-1. And I did get a buy round. During that buy round, though, I challenged another buy round haver and won it 2-1. So I kind of am counting it as a true 4-1. The buy round did exist, though. I finished third place out of 36 competitors, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm doing a regional on Sunday, so I feel like I should know what I'm going to be playing against. And I was really hoping to play against some Rolad or Ritual of Light and Darkness or Fairy Tale, because those are two decks I'm pretty scared of, and I have some tech cards in that I wanted to try out. But alas, you get what you get. So let's go over the deck here. I have two Darklord Morningstars. You need to have two of it because if it gets banished and you don't have access to another one, there goes your field nuke. Darklord Desire. This is one that I had another Darklord player ask me what the hell I was thinking putting this in my deck. I still stand by it. I still like it. I didn't get to use it this game, but I popped a card, and a body is a body that can be used for Herald of green or orange light. So Darklord Desire stays in the deck. That's the facts. I got 3 Ix-Chill, 21 points, but it's worth it. I use this every game I possibly can because you can draw 2. It puts cards in your graveyard that you can fusion with. It's just huge. So 3 Ix-Chill, it's a non-negotiable card. Tez is amazing. You could even run it at 2 if you didn't want a Nastin, but I kind of like the variety and I like my friends. Also, Tez is kind of expensive. One of the pricier cards, and I only have 1 copy. So for this regional, I'm only running 1, and I want my deck to be true to that. Tez can protect from destruction. Nastin can summon itself if you discard some cards, which has happened a few times, so I like keeping him around. Golgolet, this card is non-negotiable. This is your massive opportunity to win more. This guy will let you get a Forbidden Droplet from deck if you already have Darklord Dance, and I did that a few times, and my opponent really did not like it. Whenever I would add Forbidden Droplet to my hand, especially going second, my opponent didn't like it. But that's too bad. Sorry. It's a good-ass card. We've also got 3 Indulge Darklord. I sometimes side this down to 2 if I'm trying to focus on breaking back row, and I'll put in some Twin Twisters. That'll be one of my space-making cards. But I keep it at 3, especially if I'm going first, because this card is never a bad normal summon, and it's always great to have one in your deck. I've also got 1 Blazing Cartesia. I stand by this card hard. This card won me at least 2 to 3 games today, easily. Because Cartesia acts as your fusion deployment target. You fusion deployment, you get Cartesia out on the field by revealing Grand Guignol. If you have even one of these heralds, or really any of these 24 bodies, so any other of the 23 in your hand, you can make Grand Guignol. You make Grand Guignol, you can send from your deck Golgolet to the graveyard, letting you add any Darklord card to your hand, or Forbidden Quick Play spell. So this is a win more card, and it lets you fusion deployment. It lets you just fully get off a card in your hand as well, and you've got a Grand Guignol, which is no slouch of a card. Has a good graveyard effect, has a good on-field effect during your opponent's turn. Gets out Ludowillith. Ludowillith is a negate that activates when your opponent brings things from the extra deck. It's huge. Cartesia is a 1-card wonder, 3 points, and she is here to stay. Especially because she's a spellcaster, and we'll get into that a little bit when we're in the extra deck. Next up, we've got 3 Darklord Judy. Darklord Judy is your best normal summon, and this is a card you always want to have in your hand or in your graveyard, because if you have a fusion monster, you can add a Darklord Speller Trap or one of those Forbidden Quick Play spells, which means you can drop it back to hand, set it, and use it again next turn. This is a really big card, and it's just, he's a great guy to have on the roster. Shout out Judy. We got 3 green lights, 3 orange lights. I don't think I need to explain this. I had at least one opponent tell me that I was Herald spamming, and I was. Sorry. Orange light is massive. It wins games. It wins turns. And green light is just as big. I had a Mimighoul player that I green lighted their Mimighoul dungeon, and they passed game. And then I did it again next game, and they played another Mimighoul dungeon, and then they won. But, hey, game 1. I managed to win game 3 going first. So, the heralds win games. The heralds won me a lot of these games, and I'm really grateful for them in my deck. It's also why I run such a monster-heavy deck, because you want a handful of monsters if any of those monsters are herald. And if one of those monsters is Golgolet, oh buddy, we're off to the races. So you see what I'm saying? This is a great lineup of monsters. I feel really strongly about this for the Chaos Origins season, and I'm going to keep running this deck for the foreseeable future. I really think I've got some gas in it. I was 3rd out of 36 today, and I think I might be able to do pretty well at my regional. Because maybe it'll be 64 players. Proportionally, maybe I'll make top 8. I might not, but I'm going to try my best this Sunday. And I'll let you know how it goes. We've also got 3 banishment of the Dark Lords because, yeah, it's an add to hand. You can use it again with any of these bunguses that let you use a Dark Lord spell. So, banishment of the Dark Lords, 3 of easy. Dark Lord Contact comes up a lot. I actually was able to play around some stuff using Herald to discard a card I would have liked to normal summon, and then use Contact later in the turn with Evening Star. I did this with Judy once, and I did this with Golgolet as well. Contact can be huge for getting Golgolet out later in the turn, because people don't often think about its secondary effect, which is that it will let you summon 2 tokens when it's on your field, but those tokens are level 6 Dark Fairy monsters, which means you can use them as fusion material for anything. So Darklord Contact into Golgolet really helps you extend some games. I had a couple strong showings of that. Yeah, it's a one-off. I sometimes side it out, but rarely. 2 Darklord Dance, because 1 can get targeted too easily and destroyed. 3 is a little too many because it's once per turn, and you only use it once, and then you use your monsters to use it after that. So 3 is a little much, 2 is just right. 3 Fusion Deployment because it costs 0 points, and this is a 1-card starter in this deck. You get out Cartesia, you get out Grand Guignol, you're off to the races. 1.5 card starter. You need to have a card in hand. Fusion Deployment is huge. If you are trying to run this, run it. Don't mind this chopstick that I keep on my desk for nefarious purposes. Nefarious, whoa, not like that, man. It's for weed stuff. Be normal. Anyway, we got 3 Fusion Deployment. This is where you want to start. You want to use Fusion Deployment first because you can't use it later. Once you use Judy or Golgolet, you are Dark Fairy locked, and it will come up. So make sure that you use your Cartesia and your Fusion Deployment early in the turn. But do use them. I use it first. It's not a bait. It's just a good-ass starter. Next up, we've got Forbidden Chalice. It's a monster negate. It's a monster negate that you can search from the deck. I run one of it in here to fill up some space. Forbidden Droplet. This card is, it's Forbidden Droplet. You know it, you love it. It's here in the deck and it's not going anywhere because Forbidden Droplet can be searched off Golgolet. If you can search Forbidden Droplet going second with Darklord Dance in your hand off of sending Golgolet, especially if you're doing it from Fusion. Oh my god, dude. The combinations, the potential that this deck has is so juicy. You can break boards like it's nobody's business. I broke a full for hire board that had 4 monsters out and 3 back row off the back of Fusion Deployment, Golgolet, Forbidden Droplet, and I already had Dance in my hand. It's just gas, man. This card is just gas, and you can use it, and then you can add it back to hand before the end of the turn. Set it next turn. You have plenty of bodies in the field or in your hand, and it's a million negates, and it's so good. I'm running 2 Super Polymerization now. Last time I was running 1, and the last deck profile, I was talking it up like I wasn't that smart for running Super Polymerization. Well, fuck you, old me, because I was actually too dumb. I should have had 2 Super Polymerizations. And now I do. I'm running 2 Super Polys because it's a good card. I ran into a lot of use cases for it today. You can use it off your own monsters. You can use it off your opponent's monsters. Most Genesis decks will have an end board of 2 monsters that can be turned into Garura or Mud Dragon. Them's the breaks. That's just the way it goes. Most decks in this format will be able to be super polyed into one of these 2 bunguses. It happened a lot. I completely won a game against Fire Kings using Garura. And I did it again against that for hire player using Garura. So you can really, really, really get a lot of value out of Super Polymerization. And here's where we're going to talk about our extra deck tech cards. I'm running 1 of each of these Darklord traps And I'm thinking about doing this. So I'm gonna keep it like this for now. I'm thinking 2 Chalice, and this card doesn't come up. It really doesn't. Maybe if you know you're going first, but it doesn't come up. I'd rather have a Chalice. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about our extra deck tech. So we've got the standards. 3 Evening Star, 2 Darklord, 2 First Darklord. First Darklord never really came up a third time. 2 times, yes. 1 time more often than not. And I've never had a time where I was like, man, I wish I had a third. Yeah, Darklord Evening Star, this is 3 because it's a custom card. People know to target it. They know to get rid of this card. So I'm still running it at 3. 3 did not come up today, but I feel good about it. I feel like it will. Loose the Dusk's Dark. It's got some good destruction. It needs graveyard materials, which you have plenty of. And it never really came up in the tournaments. I might not keep it. I might actually not even be able to consistently use it because of Darklord Dance. Because it's a fiend, not a fairy, and I really thought it was beforehand, so I might actually not be able to use it effectively. So I might have to rethink this one, but I am keeping it in there. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 2 dark monsters, happens a lot. Mixusia the Confounder, I use this one a surprising amount because it's just kind of good, and if your opponent has a spellcaster, you can get it out, and you can super poly a spellcaster and anything else. Which also means if you can fusion deployment Cartesia into Grand Guignol, Grand Guignol is a spellcaster. You can then super poly using your Grand Guignol and any of your opponent's monsters. This is also true for Magistus Chorozo. If you have a spellcaster and they have an extra deck monster, you can make it. And I did. Chorozo's a really good card. It's an attack negate, and when you have a 5k body on the board, an attack negate is big. Especially when you can attack, negate, and now your Chorozo is going to have more attack than their big monster, so it's just a headache to deal with. And it's consistent. I think I got it out no less than 4 times today. It's a good card, and it's a card that comes up. For our Grand Guignol tech, we've got 2 options, Despian Quiritis and Despian Lulu-Lilith. I did not use Quiritis. I had a lot of unaffected enemy monsters. I had a lot of towers that I couldn't have used it against, so I just kind of let it be. Lulu-Lilith. Cats are fucking around in the other room. Lulu-Lilith came up a lot. It's just a really good card to put on the field. It gets itself to 3k and negates a monster. I used it 2 or 3 times. It was alright. And my GOAT, the last card in the extra deck, Fairy Cheer Girl. They said she didn't have a spot on the roster. They said she was never going to make the varsity team, but guess what? She's the GOAT! Fairy Cheer Girl actually came in clutch for me. It's an auto get every turn you're able to combo. If you are able to combo uninterrupted and you have at least 1 starter, you will have Judy and Indulge Darklord on your board. That is 2 level 4 fairy monsters. Do you want to draw a card? Yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course you want to draw a card. So Fairy Cheer Girl lets you do that. I use this almost every game I was able to combo off. And I would say over the course of the day, she probably netted me 2 heralds and a super poly. Just came up a lot. I actually had 1 game where I threw down Fairy Cheer Girl. I drew off of it. I set down. I had nothing left really. I had 1 card in hand and super poly set on the field with Fairy Cheer Girl because I had gotten choked pretty hard by my opponent. And they weren't able to actually get one over on me because I had Fairy Cheer Girl the next turn to get another draw. But I super polyed their board. This was that for hire player. I super polyed their board, got a Garura out. They ended their turn with Garura and Fairy Cheer Girl. I draw 1 on my turn. It's huge. Garura got negated, but Fairy Cheer Girl didn't, and I got that other card, and it was enough to get me over the top. I'll have to remember correctly, but I believe it was like a Darklord Dance. It was a great showing. Fairy Cheer Girl has really saved my bacon today. 3 Skullmeister. It didn't come up. So this is on the chopping block. I thought it would. I never really faced a deck where I was worried about their graveyard. So I lost every single die roll today. Rock, paper, scissors, I lost every single one. But I still came out 4-1, going second deck. It's a going second deck. Capricious Darklord I keep at 1 because if I'm going first, sometimes I will side this in over like a Fallen Angel in Darkness if I just want one more body to make sure I have a good hand going first. So I put it in. Also, I like her because she's on Darklord Dance and I don't want Indulged Darklord to be left alone on my deck. I like her to have her girlfriend here. I'm sorry, I'm a softie. 3 Herald of Purple Light. This also did not come up today. I see a world where it could. I'm still holding on to it, but it just wasn't needed. Forbidden Dress is also in the same boat. I did side it in once, but it didn't come up. I never ended up needing it. Same with Lance. I just never ended up needing it. I believe I sided it in one time against a spell-heavy matchup, but I didn't need it. 3 Twin Twisters. This card is huge. This is my number 1 thing I'm side decking in because Twin Twisters makes you discard a card. That's Golgolette. Golgolette lets you add any card or Forbidden Quick Play spell to hand. So again, I don't need to tell you what happens when you discard Golgolette, but you usually can win if it doesn't get interrupted. Twin Twisters is huge because it enables that from your hand while destroying enemy back row. It's big. The other thing that I moved was that second Forbidden Chalice that I'm switching out with Fallen Angel in Darkness because I had a little chat with the other Darklord player that was present. He went 3-2. Shout out Scarth, I believe the name is. So shout out Scath, not Scarth. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed by a 3-2 Darklord showing with my 4-1 Darklord showing, especially on very different lists. They were running a more extra deck utility heavy gambit with Minerva and some Power Patrons and Power Patron Portal Terminus. That's not for me. Personally, I really like my deck list. I'm really sticking with Fusion Deployment and Cartesia. It feels good. It's what I like. The Spellcaster counters are really, really solid in this meta, in my opinion, against Rolad and against Fairy Tail, and honestly against Sacred Beast if you can get them with a Garuva or a Mud Dragon. Like I've said, Super Poly works. It's a good card. They cannot respond to it. It works. That's the deck list, man. We'll see how the regionals goes next week. I'm hopeful after today's Genesis Weekly. Shout out Hazel again for putting on the tournament. Just did a wonderful job. Great host, and really put up with some nonsense that I gotta commend. Again, working with middle schoolers all day, I've been asked some crazy questions, so I can sympathize a little bit.